Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Sheikh Iyanu Olohun kí yín. Lónìí, a fẹ́ bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìfẹ́. Love. It is often said that you can't change other people, meaning you can't force them to show up for themselves in the relationship. But I also believe that love is the only thing effective enough to motivate and drive someone to work through their issues. No one wakes up one day and decides to walk through their challenges all by themselves. It is the grief of love lost, or the hope of a present love that gives them the fuel to grow towards wholeness. It is the grief of love lost and the hope of a present love that gives them the fuel to grow towards wholeness. I push back hard against folks who try to shame others into so-called self-love, because I want to know, what self are you loving? And how do you know that self? How do you become aware of that self? Sitting at home, journaling, reflecting, working through what? Humans are more like cells in organs than they are individual, self-reliant, autonomous beings. You take a single cell and it's either going to die or multiply. Yet, we create a multitude of expectations that people love themselves in isolation. People don't get attached to other people. We create a multitude of expectations to not care about the opinions of other people. Love isn't optional. Love isn't a reward. Love isn't an individual obligation to self. You need love to survive. You will perish without it. Everything else in this capitalist, racist, misogynistic patriarchy, they tell you that your lack of love to yourself or for yourself is your problem, and that no one can give it to you if you don't first give it to yourself. What kind of pull yourself up by your own bootstraps nonsense is that? Rather than recognize and then dismantle the systems and structures that disenfranchise us from our entitlement to love, we behave like children traumatized by neglect. We say we don't need it and I can just love myself. We got some healing to do, beloveds. Neglecting kinship, community, relationships, friendships, and society at large is all connected. We are neglected by our parents and we say, well, I turned out fine. But then, not only do you neglect your children, lovers and friends, you neglect yourself. You can't self-love yourself out of trauma. You can't self-love yourself out of your self-acceptance and freedom to be. Because your self-acceptance and freedom to be comes through relationships. Seeing yourself as whole through the eyes of another. Someone who doesn't think you are too broken to love. Do you believe that you are too broken to love or be loved? What makes you believe that there are prerequisites to being loved? Who established them? Who? Why? Existing is the only possible prerequisite for loving and being loved. Everything else is lies. You don't need to heal before you can love and be loved. Loving and being loved is what heals you. You were born knowing how to love. It is the remembering that's difficult. We give babies love freely. Babies we don't even know. They are deserving of our smiles, our positive regard, and our attention without doing anything other than existing. Who smiles at you freely? Just seeing you lights up their face. Who regards you positively? Even when there are differences, they see you through the lens of grace. Who gives you attention for no reason other than that focusing on you gives them the opportunity to love? There are no medals or prizes for withholding love from yourself. It may provide you social currency with those who also have succumbed to self-neglect. In the Bible, 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 8, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 2, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Faith works by love. Love is the force that sets faith working. Loving the Almighty and loving others, even your enemies, by praying for them. Be a doer of the word, for it is only those who act upon the word of the Almighty that receive things from Him. الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين.